What is good, horror? This is your boy Horror Gamer back with another video for you. And as you can tell by the title of this video, this is another Horror Gamer Reviews. So before I get into it, just know that your boy Horror Gamer's Reviews has spoilers in them all day, every day. So if you haven't seen this movie, go check it out. Come back. Let me know in the comment section what you think, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, whether I'm full of shit, whether you have some points. Just let me know in the comments. So with all that being said, anything beyond this point right here is on you. So as you can also tell by the title, we're doing a review on Pumpkinhead. Now, where do I begin with Pumpkinhead? First off, I want to say that this movie is a classic. This movie, when I was a kid, I remember watching this with my dad, and this movie terrifying me. So, the beginning of this movie starts off, it's a chase scene. This guy is running through the woods being chased by something. You don't see it. He's like screaming and yelling and running through the muck and shit, and you don't see the monster just yet. So he runs up to his neighbor's house and he's pounding on the door like, "Let me in, please let me in, I'm sorry," and the guy grabs his shotgun and says, "Get away from my family, get away from my door. I don't want none of this." So, and then you see him get killed by Pumpkinhead, the monster. And come to find out throughout the movie, the story behind Pumpkinhead is if you're wronged, you go see this witch and she summons this demon called Pumpkinhead to avenge the person who's been wronged. But there comes a price to pay if you get the services of Pumpkinhead. So you fast forward a little bit, and it's in the distant future. The little boy from the beginning whose dad had the door locked and everything is now grown up, and that's Lance Henriksen's character. And he has a boy of his own, and he runs a little like produce shop stand or whatever, and he lives in this really bumpkin part of this area. So he's going to deliver these potatoes or whatever to this farmer who's in there, and this group of like tourists come in and they see these hills behind the shop, and they run in and they start going on their dirt bikes and stuff and playing or whatever. And as Lance Henriksen's character, H0rr0rr0rgam3r is going to deliver these potatoes, he leaves his son, which is a little kid, and you see the connection between Lance Henriksen's character, H0rr0rr0rgam3r, and his son at the beginning, how he really loves his son, and he basically would do anything for his little boy, and he just has that good dadness to him, you know what I mean? He really loves his son. So he leaves his son at the store and says, "I'll be back in an hour," whatever. So the little boy's out there playing with his dog, and he goes up on the hills. And as he's going up on the hills, these dirt bikers are going up and down these trails. Well, the one didn't see him and ends up hitting him and killing him. And it's that is one of the most heartbreaking scenes in a horror movie. When he goes and he comes back and sees his son lying there. Because after they hit him, they stop and they freak out and stuff. And Lance Henriksen's character comes up and he sees his boy laying in the dirt. He got hit by a dirt bike. So he picks him up and runs to the truck, and he's trying to save him because the boy's not dead yet. And so the one kid is like, I'm sorry, and like grabs him by the shoulder and asks him if anything he could do. And then H0rr0rr0rgam3r turns around with this look of just like, "I'm going to kill you, motherfucker." Like that look. Like, that look you give somebody who's really wronged you? That's the look he gives him. He gives him woof. And so H0rr0rr0rgam's trying to take his son to get him fixed, and he dies. He says, "Daddy," one last time, and he dies. And Lance Henriksen is telling him the story, because he liked to tell his son stories. His son liked to hear stories. So he takes his son's body to this old witch in the woods. And the witch takes the boy and then has Lance Henriksen dig up this thing. And here it's the Pumpkinhead embryo. So he has to cut himself and do this ritualistic thing to where he connects with this Pumpkinhead monster. So this is where the fun begins. Now the Pumpkinhead monster is coming back to kill these kids who killed H0rr0rr0rgam's boy. But the problem is H0rr0rr0rgam3r is linked to Pumpkinhead. So anytime Pumpkinhead gets shot, hit, kicked, it's linked to him, and he feels it. He sees everyone getting killed by the monster, and he goes to the witch and said, "This is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted." And the witch said, "You did it. It's you. It's on you now." Basically, in fewer words or less. And so now H0rr0r's got to kill this monster. But here's where the trouble lies. He's connected to the monster. There's the little plot twist. But all in all, this movie is outstanding. The witch in this movie gave me nightmares when I was a kid. My God. Like, the whole story behind Pumpkinhead is just amazing. The first two now are really good. Don't go watch the other ones after that, the sci-fi original Pumpkinheads, because, man, they kind of fall off after this. But definitely, if you get a chance, definitely go out and watch the first Pumpkinhead. This was the one that started it all. Like I said, part 2 was pretty good, but nothing beats the original in this one. And yes, as you can see, Scream Factory got a hold of it. So there's all kinds of special features if you can get the special feature one. So, with all that being said, what do I give Pumpkinhead? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have to give Pumpkinhead a solid 8 out of 10. This movie isn't perfect, but my God, it's damn near. Like, the practical effects, the demon effects for Pumpkinhead are just amazing. Like, the costume that the person wears for Pumpkinhead, it's terrifying. And, like, the gore effects and some of the scenes, some of the kills are just fucking crazy. Like the one scene where he drags this girl up this tall tree and drops her. Such a good movie. Definitely. And this is one of Lance Henriksen's best. Like, he really kills it as H0rr0r, and you really feel for him. Like, this movie doesn't just scare you. It's also one of those movies that play with your emotions. And it does a good job at doing it, because like I said, at times you're terrified, but at other times, like when H0rr0r lost his boy, you're sad. Like, you feel so bad for the guy. And, you almost want to cry with him, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a heartbreaking scene. So, but yeah, definitely 8 out of 10. Your boy H0rr0r says, check it out. I definitely recommend it. So, with all that being said, H0rr0r, I hope you enjoyed this review as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And don't forget, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button along with that ding-a-ling-ding-ding button. That way, every time your boy H0rr0r throws up one of these awesome reviews, you're always in the know. So, until next time, H0rr0r, this is your boy H0rr0r saying, I love you guys. Thank you. And as always, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it.